Every 4 years, the entire planet stops. Factories fall quiet, offices empty, streets that are normally packed with traffic go silent, and billions of human beings, separated by language, culture, religion, and politics, gather around one single event. Not a war, not an election, not a moon landing. A football tournament. This is the FIFA World Cup, and if you think it's just a sport, you've fundamentally underestimated what you're looking at. The FIFA World Cup is the world's largest single sport event. Organized by FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, it has been held every 4 years since its very first edition in Uruguay in 1930. Nearly a century later, it has grown into something far beyond sport. It is a global ritual, a shared human experience, and arguably the most powerful cultural force on the planet. The tournament works simply. National football teams from across the world compete through years of regional qualifying rounds. The best of the best earn their spot. Then, in the host nation, they battle in group stages, knockout rounds, and ultimately a single final match to determine which country can lay claim to the most coveted trophy in sport. But understanding the World Cup means understanding what it represents, and that is where the real story begins. Right now, in 2026, the world is preparing for what may be the most extraordinary World Cup in history. For the first time ever, the tournament has expanded to 48 teams, an increase of 16 teams from previous editions. This historic format change, the first since 1998, means more nations than ever before will compete on the world stage. The total number of matches has jumped from 64 to 104, and the tournament will last 39 days. The 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off on June 11th, co-hosted across 3 nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, making it the first World Cup ever hosted by 3 countries simultaneously. But it isn't just the football making headlines. With 50 days to go, FIFA and the host nations face scrutiny over geopolitical tensions, exorbitant ticket prices, and unresolved questions around Iran's participation, a nation the US, alongside Israel, launched military action against in February 2026. The world's biggest sporting event has become, whether it wants to or not, a mirror of global politics. Let's talk numbers, because the scale of the World Cup is almost impossible to comprehend. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar engaged 5 billion fans around the world, making it the most followed FIFA World Cup in history. The final between France and Argentina alone drew 1.42 billion viewers, the highest ever audience for a single sporting match. The average global audience for each individual match was 175 million people. Think about that. 175 million people on average watching every single game. The 2019-2022 FIFA financial cycle generated a record $757 billion in total revenue, an 18% increase over the previous cycle, with FIFA exceeding its own projections by over $1 billion. For the 2026 tournament, FIFA has allocated $655 million in direct prize money to teams, with the champions set to receive $50 million, a figure that dwarfs the prize pools of almost every other sporting competition on Earth. And the host nations? When Qatar hosted in 2022, it made an estimated profit of $17 billion, while also leveraging the event to transform its entire non-hydrocarbon economy through over $200 billion in infrastructure investment. For 2026, the 3 host nations across North America will stage 104 matches over 39 days, with economic projections suggesting the tournament could generate tens of billions of dollars across the continent. So why does one football tournament generate this kind of gravity? Sports economists point to a phenomenon unique to the World Cup. It is one of the last truly shared global experiences in an age of fragmented media. While streaming services have splintered audiences into niche corners, the World Cup remains an event that transcends platforms, languages, and time zones simultaneously. FIFA's revenues have climbed steadily with each cycle. The 2014 edition brought in $4.8 billion, 2018 generated $5.3 billion, and 2022 broke all records, with analysts projecting the 2026 cycle could approach $10 billion. There is also the soft power dimension. Nations don't just host the World Cup for the money. They host it to matter on the world stage, to shape perception, to project identity. This is why countries spend extraordinary sums, because for 1 month, the entire world is watching. But strip away the economics and the politics, and what you find at the core of the World Cup is something much more human. A child in Lagos, and a grandmother in Buenos Aires cheering the same goal. A fan in Seoul watching a penalty shootout at 3 in the morning, unable to breathe. A nation of 50 million people united, briefly, completely, around one moment. The World Cup has been held every 4 years since 1930, through world wars, cold wars, economic crises, and pandemics. It has never once been cancelled. Not because FIFA wouldn't allow it, but because the world wouldn't allow it. That speaks to something deeper than sport. The World Cup endures because it satisfies a fundamental human need. The need to belong to something larger than yourself. The FIFA World Cup is not just a football competition. It is the closest thing humanity has to a shared global event. It is a $10 billion economic machine, a geopolitical stage, a cultural phenomenon that unites 5 billion people in a common experience, one that no other institution, sport, or platform on Earth has been able to replicate. With 2026 now on the horizon, bigger, more expanded, and more complicated than ever before, the world is once again preparing for that rare moment when everything stops. And for 39 days, the planet breathes together. That is the FIFA World Cup, and that is why it matters. The beautiful game, the whole world's game,